So we just got done intense conditioning session where we did a little bit of a workout for athletes and then something more for strongman, and then kind of in between for the people who don't have access to what we have going on in our gyms. But a question that I get in my emails all the time, and I'm sure you guys all get, is how would we fuel for something like that for the first one? And then second one being 2019, everyone always asks me, how do you have the motivation? How do you have the drive to do something like we just did? Because obviously that was tough.
I don't really want to work out. I work out.
But I want you guys to kind of like pitch off with that idea on maybe as a coach, what you deal with, how do you guys instill that into your members and athletes?
So obviously me dealing with youth athletes, anywhere from, modified teams to high school to collegiate to pro, I put guys through those workouts because that's the best way I can simulate like game time. So the nutrition is always a huge component of that, because if you can't get through that workout, you're not getting into that fourth quarter or that third period or whatever it might be. So nutrition options, one is nutrient timing. Everybody's different with how digestion and everything, so I always recommend at least an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. People have sensitive stomachs. I always say kind of steer clear of dairy just because that's a little funky sometimes. Light carbs, oatmeal is a great one. Will help you burn throughout the whole session or a game. Rice cakes are even easier, especially if you're in school or something like that, and then a good source of protein. So whey protein, fast digesting is awesome, but again, dealing with youth athletes, don't want to talk about supplements all the time. So egg whites in the morning is a good fast digesting protein. Turkey, grilled chicken, something like that. But again, give yourself the time to digest it. And then the second portion, with the mindset, what do you guys feel like with that? That's a huge component.
So mindset, I think, has just been proven that you need it in your training. So you see like research things where people will give me like negative feedback or positive feedback. Like one group be told, oh, you're going to perform worse because you're this population, and you'll end up seeing that they actually do perform worse. And then the group that gets the positive feedback performs positively. So I think we're already seeing that it's in the research there. So I think mindset's huge, just going with that positive attitude.
Right, definitely.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. It's all about, if you go into a workout with a positive mindset, you're, obviously gonna do a lot better. And you just gotta learn to kind of cross that threshold where you push yourself physically as well as mentally.
Just having a good team. Like I know my, athletic career, I've been on teams where maybe we weren't the most athletic, but we had a ton of heart and we pushed each other, and that's what we were doing today. We came together, everybody may have different abilities in their conditioning, and we're all hooting and hollering for each other, that positive reinforcement like they talked about, encouraging one another, where maybe if you're in a negative environment, that's not gonna happen.
Right.
Or if you're by yourself, I'm sure we've all been our own worst enemy, where, we haven't pushed as hard when we're by ourselves. So just having a gym like you have, or coming somewhere like this where you have that community and that culture and environment, is just going to take you to a whole other level to really show what your potential really is.
Definitely. And actually, one thing before we even started the workout, you said I got to just get my head right. Everybody talks to themselves. You got to talk to yourself in a positive way. Have just a positive pep talk before you go into a game, before you go into a workout. It's like once you tie your shoes, you're ready to compete, and that's a huge part of everything you do. But especially being an athlete or strongman or just a fitness enthusiast, like you get the opportunity to compete, to perform, to train. Don't take that for granted.